The one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this. It's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, you know? It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden. It was funny seeing my song it was funny seeing it at the presidential debate. That song is written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them. So for them to have to sit there and listen to that cracks me up. It seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. But I do hate to see that song being weaponized. Like, I see the right trying to characterize me as one of their own, and I see the left trying to discredit me. I guess in retaliation, since I have addressed the conservatives, I do need to address the left as well, because they're sending a message out that initial song that sort of shot me up the radar, Richmond North of Richmond, is an attack against the poor. If you listen to my other music, it's obvious that all of my songs that reference class defend the poor. Doggone, it's a good example of that. Needles in the street, folks hardly surviving.
On sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting, the rich keep thriving. Doggone me.
It's like, that's what I like to sing about. And so I do understand, like, there may be some people who misunderstood my words in Richmond North of Richmond. You know, the words say that there's people on the street with nothing to eat and the obese milking welfare. That references a news article I read earlier this summer that adolescent kids in Richmond are missing meals over the summer because their parents can't afford to feed them and they're not in school to eat cafeteria lunch.
Summer, unfortunately, is the hungriest time of the year. You know, and that last bell rings on the last day of school. For a lot of kids, it's a time of sunshine and playtime. But for our kids who struggle with food insecurity, it can also be a real time of anxiety.
That anxiety in children mainly stems from not knowing where their next meal is coming from. This is a reality for many kids, not just across the country, but right here in our own backyard.
Their access to programs like school breakfast and school lunch goes away in the summer months.
This is why summer meals programs are in full force this summer across Central Virginia. Sarah stressed the importance of programs like these, saying that without them, a lot of children could suffer emotionally and physically, which could trickle down to classroom performance.
So they're less likely to retain information and more likely to start school in the fall more behind their higher income peers who did have access to that nutrition over the summer.
And meanwhile, I think like 30 or 40% of the food bought with welfare or EBT money is in a classification of like snack food and soda. I think 10% spent on soda, and I want to say like 20 or 30% spent on junk food. And that's not the fault of those people. But I've got to be clear that my message, like with any of my songs, it references the inefficiencies of the government because of the politicians within it that are engulfed in bribes and extortion. Welfare only makes up a small percentage of our budget. You know, we can fuel a proxy war in a foreign land, but we can't take care of our own. That's all the song's trying to say. It's just saying that the government takes people who are needy dependent and makes them needy independent. It's cool seeing some of my other music come out because people are, I guess, starting to appreciate and understand what it is I'm really trying to say. It's hard to get a message out about your political ideology or your belief about the world in 3 minutes and some change. At some point I will dissect all my lyrics of all my songs if that's what I need to do. I mean, 30-some million people understood what I was saying, but it only takes a few to try to derail the train. If you watch the response videos on YouTube to this song, it's not conservative people responding to the song. It's not even necessarily Americans responding to the song. I don't know that I've seen anything get such positive response from such a diverse group of people. I think that terrifies the people that I sing about in that song. It's driving people crazy to see the unity that's come from this. from all walks. This isn't a Republican and Democrat thing. This isn't even a United States thing. Like, this has been a global response. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And don't shoot the messenger. Like, I'm a nobody. And they've done everything they can the last 2 weeks to make me look like a fool, to spin my words, to try to stick me in a political bucket. And they can keep trying, but I'm just going to keep on writing. I feel thankful to be given this opportunity. You know, the music side is exciting, and all the Billboard, iTunes charts and all that crap, that's great. But the exciting part's been the conversations I've had with people and the things I've learned just in a couple weeks about the human spirit and about all sorts of other things, the music industry and how dirty everything is. Like, it's worse than you think. I am going to stay true to my word. I'm going to write, produce, and distribute authentic music that represents people and not politics. I don't know what this country is going to look like in 10 or 20 years if things don't change. I don't know what this world's going to look like. And, like, something has to be done about it, you know? There's been too many people die. There's been too many people sacrifice everything they've had. People die before they're even 18, you know? Just so for us to all sit here and just do the stupid shit it is that we do every day that keeps us all beat down and divided. Like, that's what I want to see stop. And I'm going to do everything I can to influence that at all costs. Even if it does throw my world upside down, it's well worth it. But for now, I'm hanging in there, and I'm doing what I can. And I really appreciate everybody who's along for the ride.